is up there doing their thing, man. It's some retrograding going down up there, you know. Some full mooning. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Certain planets entering certain zodiacs. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy that is there for the collective to utilize at this time. Welcome to this week's Pick a Card reading, where here I have 3 piles. Each pile, 1, 2, and 3. I've pre-selected some oracle cards as well as some charms to do some charm casting after our card reads, and just to really take a look at what energies are at play. So don't scroll, don't click off. I need you guys to get this information. I'm just trying to make your life a little bit easier, and also, you know, so that you hit the pockets and you have an understanding of the energies that are around and why you feel or could be feeling the way that you're feeling. Okay, so at each pile, I'll introduce an astrological event that's happening this coming week. Okay, so take a deep breath, pause if you need to, and pick your deck, pick your pile. Okay, also you may need to pick more than one. You know, whatever you resonate with is what you resonate with. And I want you to come and listen to all 3 anyway, because it's going to be a zodiac message or astrology message that could be beneficial. Okay? So, without further ado, we'll start with pile 1. And I will see you guys at the others. Okay, so pile 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, here are your charms. We'll get to those later. But first I would like to talk about this Neptune retrograde that we're in the midst of. It began sometime around July 4th, this weekend. And with the energies of Neptune and retrograde, it could bring about powerful dreams, spiritual awakening, some illusions. Okay, so this Neptune retrograde, powered by Aries, oh Lord, expect to be mind-fucked in a very BDSM fashion. Okay, so get your pearls. Okay, so you'll have something to clutch on. All right, because this is going to be quite a doozy. All right, in a good way. So we'll start with the first oracle card here, and this card says reading macro patterns. The small pieces of the universe can be discovered by observing the universe at large. Astrology and tarot are 2 tools for reading macro patterns. Turn to them when you want to know how the movements of the universe apply to you. Okay, so you're going to have some questions. Some things is going to be on your mind. You may find yourself checking your local listings for horoscopes. Possibly studying astrology low key. You know what I mean? You could also have more tarot readings come your way. Like you may be actually planning to have a personal reading done, or you may be indulging and binge watching tarot readings. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do feel like you may be affected by this Neptune and retrograde, and something inside of you is uplifting. Something inside of you is changing. Okay? Fortune teller card. Your dreams hold the key to your future. Pay attention. So you may start to have dreams that have some symbolism in there that you may be curious about the meanings to. And you may seek out a spiritual teacher if you aren't already spiritual already. Like if you're not already, you already have an understanding of astrology, or you have your planetary planner, and you have your almanac, and you're just you already are hip and are in tune. I do feel like you'll be leaning into that a little bit more and getting a little bit, going to the next phase. Like if you're like a beginner, then you'll be moving into an intermediate phase. If you're intermediate, you'll be moving into an advanced. If you're advanced, you'll be going into a master, where you'll be teaching. You'll possibly be coming up or embracing your own philosophy, and maybe coming up with maybe some digital products, or maybe writing a book, or teaching a course of some sort about your personal philosophy, intertwining maybe the astrological aspect as well as tarot. You may be blending the two. Pisces, and the mantra, I believe. So that you may finally, you may have been kind of going down this path for a while, and just maybe just kind of just straddling the fence, dibbling and dabbling. Like you hear what's going on, like, oh, Mercury's in Gatorade, or whatever's clever these days. You may find yourself noticing and paying more attention to zodiac sign meanings. You may be also seeing things in your dreams that is making you become a believer as well. Like maybe let's just say you may already be getting tarot readings, or watching tarot readings, or you could be a reader yourself. I do feel like some of the things are the downloads that you've been getting, or that you've been being told in your readings or in your dreams. You're seeing things happen in real time, and it's coming into play, like almost a feeling of deja vu, or okay, so that's why they said that. Maybe something's clicking, maybe an epiphany is on the rise right now, but it's a feeling of you becoming a believer and being more comfortable within your beliefs. You're reading the room, but not just at surface level. I feel like you're able to read at a highly sensitive, empathic kind of way. Okay, we're very cosmic. You're electrifying right now. Don Juan. Okay, and this could be spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. And also the shadow aspect could be using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. You could be a Pisces, and you could be one of those that use your gift of intuition and your ability to, feel what other people are feeling, your telepathy gifts. You may be using it not just for good, or you may be tapping into you may just be kind of using it to manipulate the situations here. Okay? With you could be, like I said, it's attractive to others when you have the ability to look at them and tell them something about themselves. And you may need to be reminded that your gifts are not a circus act. Okay? So use them for good. Use them to avoid the pitfalls, help the masses. Okay? Don't just be using them to draw in lovers. That's just for a small part of the collective here. You could also be meeting someone with these attributes. Morticia could be meeting her Gomez, okay? I feel like they'll be, what's going to attract them to you is your belief system. And when you meet this person, I do feel like it's going to be like a deja vu kind of moment where you may feel like this a past life connection as well. But also Spirit wants you to be aware that this person may be somewhat of a Don Juan. Like, let's just say if you do have a new spiritual teacher, you may find yourself being attracted to them, or they may become attracted to you in some kind of way. So just be on the lookout for that. So just be careful who you let in your energy at this time. Preservation. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And that goes right along with the Pisces card, I believe. I do feel like you're definitely heading into a new journey of self-discovery, and possibly embarking on a spiritual awakening. And so naturally you're going to be leaning towards I guess people that are in the spiritual community. But this is just a warning, just to be careful. And it may be a good idea right now to do your own research as well, and utilize the gifts and the tools that are at your hands already. Tarot is at your hands. Astrology is definitely a click away, if you will. So that may be important to self-preserve that kind of way. Okay? Angel of Balance. Okay, and is that another? Okay, so that goes right with perseverance. Okay, that goes right along with that. It all starts in the mind. So the mantra, I believe, may be something that you may want to start your days with here, so that you honestly build your confidence within yourself. Because sometimes we can become codependent upon spiritual teachers, and that somewhat puts us in a dangerous position as well, especially if you're a newbie. So be mindful of that. The Angel of Balance is here, and The mantra on the perseverance card says, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Okay? So that's already a given. You already have the makings and the knowing. The everything that you need is already put inside of you. You just have to nurture it and become familiar with it. As above, so below. Everything that's in the cosmos is deep down within us already. The cosmos is just a visual representation of what's already happening within. Okay? It says here Imperial Topaz, as far as a crystal card. So at this time, the Imperial Topaz card came out, and that could be a great stone to use, especially if you're working on your career. And it sounds like, oh wow, again, the Neptune in retrograde, you're definitely your beliefs will definitely be challenged. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear at this time. Okay. Go deeper. But the Imperial Topaz is a very, very high vibrating stone. It's great for attracting abundance, but it's also a great stone for I believe astral traveling, if I'm not mistaken, because that could be also something that you may be experiencing in your dreams, which is why you're able to connect the dots so well, or it feels like deja vu, because you may be able to astral project and astral travel, but you don't quite know exactly how you do it, but you do have that ability. Okay? And I do feel like this stone will also help you to harness your gifts, and through meditation, of course, and connecting to that particular stone. Okay? Let's get some clarifiers here. See if we can get some more messages from Spirit here. I don't even think I'm going to use tarot today. I think we're just going to stick to the oracles. And so that's the oracle that I'm using at this moment here. Let's get a couple of cards to get any final messages here before we go into our stones. Not our stones, but our charm casting. And this is cross. It says sacrifice, down for the cause, release, let go, giving up, surrender, puts others first, for the greater good, dogma, heroic effort, purpose, driven, martyrdom, matriarchdom, heed to the call. Again, spiritual awakening taking place here. And some things that you may have to sacrifice, you may have to let go for the greater good. So if it's not serving your purpose, or if you feel as though it's not going to age well in the future, it may be time to let it go. And again, you may be getting these messages through dreams. Again, white rabbit, spark of curiosity. Okay, Neptune in retrograde energy once again. We got Sagittarius energy here, as well as more Pisces energy. But spiritual awakening it's time to heed the call. 2 messages about heeding the call, about research it. I think I said that. So you'll probably be doing, again, some researching and going down the rabbit hole. I say that phrase a lot. I actually was going to say it earlier, but I was like, let me try to find a different way to say it. So definitely magical, mystical, at times confusing. A lot of, I feel like, don't get lost, don't get caught in the loop. Be mindful about being caught in the loop. Like, don't overanalyze, overthink. Don't get a board out and just start trying to connect the dots. Like, the knowledge will come. It doesn't, when you research, the knowledge will come. It doesn't have to be forced, and it doesn't have to be stressful. It's not supposed to be stressful. Okay, so the things that may be revealed to you over the next 7 days and beyond is definitely going to challenge your perception of everything around you, and you're going to change for the better. Just embrace it. Don't jump all the way in the pool. Test the waters a little bit. Do what you need to do to take care of your spiritual body. That could be meditating, that could be praying, that could be doing mantras, mudras, whatever spiritual path that you're on, whatever form of meditating or spiritual hygiene, if you will, practices that you partake in. I think this is the time to incorporate this, especially with all this new knowledge coming in. It says here, balloons. Okay? Fun, freedom, high vibe, release, rising up, ascension, aspiration, success, joy, full. Okay? Higher perspective, cheerful, attaining goals, stress-free, independence, and again, letting go. Because all these things are coming in for you at this particular time. So just allow yourself extra time to adjust, especially with all the planetary things coming in, and epiphanies, and one day you may wake up and just you see the world completely different because you had an experience. You can't really put your finger on the experience, but you just know that something is different. You could just have an upgrade, a universal upgrade. All right, so wow, very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. All right, so use what you got here already. Use what you got. Good stuff. All right, Pile One, that was your oracles. Time for our charms. Okay, let's see what messages come through with the charms. Ooh, Lord, power. Ooh, okay. We got some numbers, letters here. All right. So this is my planet Venus. Okay. So Venus energy is here, and Venus is all about love, beauty, that sort of thing. Okay, which is also, I think, leaning into possibly Pile 2's astrological message as well. So maybe come check us out in Pile 2. to get a hold of that. But Venus energy is here, so you could be engaging in some self-care rituals. You may be treating yourself a little bit better, kind of pampering yourself. You may be going out, taking yourself to, the beauty salon a little bit. You may be just attracting a different, I don't know, some of you maybe even going natural, making the big chop. I do feel like the beauty that you are going to probably exude will probably be very eccentric. Like maybe you're going for a more natural, more nature boy, nature girl kind of look. All right. Fertile Myrtle. So you could also be doing very well financially with the purse at this time. It could be, I'm thinking some type of financial windfall maybe also on the horizon coming in. Because I always look at this as like the Wheel of Fortune here. Even though it's not the Wheel of Fortune, when I look at it, that's what I see. That's hard work and dedication paying off. It may also be a time for you to save. Maybe something in the future is coming that you may need to make a financial deposit in. And this could be something like a business or a piece of equipment that you might really, really need that would be very helpful for you. But I do see that maybe you preserving a little bit more with your spending, maybe being more of a natural minimalist at this time. But I also think that that's also going to attract a different type of lover to you, if you will. I feel like you're going to be attracting people in a very magnetic way. When it's not going to really be the outer appearance that's attracting people in. It's going to be your inners. People want to hear what you have to say. People want to hear what you're thinking. They want to talk to you. I forget what's the word for that they use for people that are, sexually attracted to mental stimulation. Like whoever that's coming in is going to be attracted to your mental. So be careful. Just be careful. All right. So we have the letters T, U, and D. So those could be initials. You guys would know that more than what I would know. Okay. We have the word full here. So things are going to be plentiful, dutiful. Okay. You're going to be taking like again with this Wheel of Fortune. This is a new change, a new turn. I do think that it's going to be a very positive turn here. Okay. I and my. Okay, so I think that this is a time that you should be putting yourself first, practicing mindfulness, maybe making sure that your yard is clean before you go looking at someone else's. I don't think that I need to tell this particular pile that, because it looks like you're definitely paying more attention to yourselves here. We have the numbers 3, 3, 7, and 0. Your birthday, some of you could be again Pisces with birthdays early March. So March Pisces could be here. So birthdays between the 3rd and the 7th, maybe even the 30th. Okay. But overall, I do feel like you're becoming more, you're moving into, I guess, kind of a softer era where you're working on your beauty from the inside out. Okay, so over the next 7 days, be prepared for some mentally stimulating conversations to prepare for that. Read up on your astrology. Maybe read up on the tarot, the origin of tarot, so that you can have a better understanding, because it looks like this particular collective is definitely leaning in towards that more earthly, spiritual kind of, I guess, religions. All right. Thank you, Pile One. So we're moving on to Pile 2 here. Here are the other oracles, and we are going to go into the second astrological event for these next 7 days, this coming week here, and it is taking place or starting up sometime around July 7th here, and it is Uranus and Gemini. Woo, okay? Woo, woo, woo. Talk about embarking on a global renaissance, okay? So this just doesn't affect overnight or for a month or two here. This particular transit will be going on for the next 7 years, okay? So it's going to be giving off the energy of, doing things your way, okay? Communication is going to be upgraded. Tech is going to be upgraded. Your thoughts, your insights, everything is going to be upgraded in a very shocking way. How you come about your newfound insights, your newfound intuition, it may happen in very unconventional, it's not the information that you're going to run into. It may be information that you didn't want, that you don't really know exactly what to do right away, that's going to inspire you to dig deeper. And I think that's the purpose. Okay? You got 7 years of it, so your first oracle here is Sagittarius here. Sagittarius. Upbeat, optimistic, lively, high energy, humorous, loves to travel and expand, confident, restless, and needing freedom, and prone to overspending and overdoing. And the body. Sagittarius rules over the thighs, the sciatic nerve, and the hips. Okay, so you doing maybe some hip exercises, maybe stretches at this time could alleviate any sciatic nerve symptoms, because I do feel like maybe some of you may have some energies trapped in those areas in the thighs. You could be having, maybe your thighs just feel stiff, or they may even hurt. Your sciatic nerve, maybe you've been, my sciatic nerve acting up there. Been in so much pain in the hips and stuff like that. So maybe you getting into something like hula hooping. I know it sounds, I guess, juvenile, but hula hooping is excellent exercise, and it also is a great way to unlock those hips. My twerkers, okay? Gentle twerk. Maybe something like belly dancing or something like that. Maybe even maybe some Latin kind of dancing could also help to work on those hips here. Okay. Oh, that's fun. So we're looking at the energy of Sagittarius. Not saying some of you may be Sagittarius, but Sagittarius is also a fire sign. Okay. So that's always good to know here. So then we have a new beginning is on the horizon. Embrace it. Embrace this new beginning that's on the horizon here. So a new beginning often brings change. And I do feel like this change will be very sudden. And what I love about Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius is definitely one of those signs that be on guard, like on your mark, get set, they be on go. So this is a time to be prepared. So I'm glad this reading is coming to you at this time, so to give you some time to prepare for the new insights that you're going to receive, because they will be the kind of insights that could be quite a culture shock. Okay? So we have the Capricorn, I use. Okay, so that is the mantra, I use. Capricorn, I use. With Sagittarius energy here. Capricorn is also ruled by the planet Saturn, and I believe Saturn is retrograding as well, which is going to be very, very interesting. I think I did speak on the dual thing that's happening here with the Neptune retrograde and the Saturn retrograde. Okay, so that could also be bringing in ideas or an emphasis on order, discipline, getting ish done. Okay, doing what it is that you need to do, like right away, like not procrastinating. Okay. So at this time, also, I would encourage the usage of orange calcite. And what I love about orange calcite, it's one of those stones that gets you off your behind. So if you've been suffering with the spirit of, I'm gonna call it the spirit child, with just low motivation, meditating, saying I use, or whatever meditations that maybe, I guess, resonate with your life goals here, or whatever you are working on, would be very beneficial to do with the meditating with the orange calcite. That was just a little bonus to throw in because I just happen to have some calcite nearby. Monk. It says selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. Shadow attributes. Negative judgment of the physical world. Excess piety. All right. So some of you may be kind of on your lonesome. Like some of you may be on a celibacy journey, or just spending a hell of a lot of time alone. Some of you could also be going through maybe a depression at this time. So be careful of that. Be careful of, because of the things that we're maybe absorbing from the media, some horrendous scenes, honestly. It may just be giving you a negative view of the world at this time, and it may also be forcing you to go inside and just look at the world as such a bad negative place to be. You could just be judging kind of harshly here. Again, that orange calcite, believe it or not, is a great stone for people that's going through like depression. Okay, because it carries that happy go lucky sun kind of feel to it. Also, it's an orange stone, so it could help with like that sacral chakra. If you have like some blocks in creativity, this will kind of help you kind of get yourself unstuck, because sometimes all it takes is for you to get up. Okay, this is definitely a stone to help you to get up. Of course, your higher power is always there. We don't want to just put all our faith in just the things of this world, because remember, we're in this world, but we ain't of this world. Loneliness. Okay, I know that I am never alone. Again, you're in this world, but you're not of this world. Some of you may feel like you just don't belong here, just based off of the current state of everything and the things that we're hearing in the media is just like, wow, we're living in transitional times. And during transitional times, it could get rough. It can be very stressful. Okay? And you might feel like you don't have anybody that is going through the same things that you are going through. You may definitely feel alone at this time, because your path right now is your path. I think that you should continue to walk in your spiritual path. You'll meet people along the way. Okay? Also, using this mantra, I know that I am never alone. Maybe starting your day with it and ending your day with that particular mantra would be helpful, especially if you're experiencing the negative effects of feeling lonely or being on a spiritual awakening. That could be a very, very lonely experience, because everybody's experience is such a spectrum. You know what I mean? Storm warning. You're not alone in the storm. It could just feel like change. Like I was just talking about this. The transition is is kicking up a lot of dirt and things that you are not prepared for. Okay? So everything around you could at this time be being uprooted, and you may feel like you can't reach out and ask anyone for help, but I think at this time this will be a good time to reach out and ask others for help. Okay, because you're going through this, and right now you're not running from the storm, you're running directly into the storm. You may need some support, and don't be afraid to ask. Okay, now we have the selenite. Oh, I love selenite. I love it. I love it. I love it. Selenite is so purifying. Selenite, it says here, sacred center. Okay, and it also has a scale, a balancing scale here. So some of you may want to check out Pile 1 if you haven't done so already. We talk about the angel of balance, and we talk about preservation and how important the two are, okay, at this time for you. All right, so in order to preserve, you have to also take time out to heal. So with selenite, I love selenite because it's very purifying, and it also helps to repel negative energies and people from around you. Okay, it also can it's you know sometimes people just tell you all the good things about the stones, and honestly, for some people, if you're not used to dealing with very high frequency stones, it could like really throw your equilibrium off. So if you're going to use a high vibrating crystal such as selenite, and you're going to be meditating with it, it may be also important to, after that meditation session, for you to also do a grounding so that you can come back down, because selenite, you'll be able to receive downloads from higher dimensions for some people, okay? But also, I think that selenite can help you also combat some of these effects of the storms that are beginning to come in, as the storms begin to come in. All right, that's pretty dope. Let's get a couple of oracle cards to kind of clarify these messages here with, of course, this particular. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you can get your messages in real timing, and you'll know when I post, and just be kind of up to date, because we're doing good stuff over here, okay? And that's all the cards I'm going to use for right now, I think. So let's go through. These are the cards here that kind of fell off the deck on their own, okay? So we'll go with that. So the first card that came out is the Diamond card, and this is also Aries energy. And we do have that Neptune retrograde that's being powered by Aries right now. Okay, so this says Diamond, creative force, faithfulness, value, perfection, brilliance, commitment, light, purity, esteem, unconquerable force, multi-dimensional, multifaceted, invincible, spiritual power. So we dealing with someone that is very powerful. You may even have the power to control the weather. Okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. Or excuse me, I wouldn't be surprised if you did have the ability to control the weather. This says roundabout. And this is Pisces energy. Again, Pisces energy was in pile 1. So more referencing to pile 1 here. All right. It says community. Okay. Connections. New direction. Keep it moving. Controls the flow of information. Solutions. Circular reasoning. Fluid. Many working parts. Perfect timing. Redirect. Okay. So I do feel like some of you are able to have the ability to redirect the storm. Okay. Whether that is spiritual or physical. If in fact you begin to harness your gifts. I do feel like You may need to reach out a little bit more at this time to certain people. I know with the Sagittarius energy around you, y'all kind of can be loners. Like y'all like to be by yourselves. Y'all just need to be free. You know what I mean? Y'all can't be chained down. Y'all kind of free spirited in that kind of way. Y'all just need to be able to roam about, keep it moving. Okay? But I do also feel like the answer to your problems may come through you communicating with other people, which is sometimes a challenge for you, because you can be a very direct person in the way that you speak to others. I feel like this is what the problem might be, where the way you speak to others, it may come off as very strong and very cocky, but that's because you believe in yourself. You kind of the strength is there, but you just don't. If you thought you were strong spiritually, you have no freaking idea yet. You just literally barely scraped the surface. Okay, barely scraped the surface. Roses. Oh, shucks. Well deserved. Love, romance, affection, appreciation, devotion, fond, delighted, high emotional IQ, gifts, friendship, infatuated, enchanted, passion, fidelity, tender yearning, attached. Okay, so I do feel like maybe you'll be, making some kind of connections for those that are feeling a little lonely and maybe wanting somebody, to I guess to just share some things with here. All right, but that Venus energy is definitely at play right now in your life. So the love is available. I do feel like you're going to meet your intellectual match. So some of you may be meeting air signs that could possibly give you that, even though it could feel y'all could be opposite. I think at this time, because you need because you could be a little stubborn, right? So having a air sign around at this time could be beneficial as things change, to kind of help you navigate through the change, because things are going to be happening kind of quickly. So you're going to need someone that has kind of a higher IQ and processing ability, because the downloads that you're going to be receiving, it's going to seem like you're a little bit off. Like not everybody is going to understand it. I'm talking Nikola Tesla kind of downloads. I do feel like you're going to be kind of receiving here. And you're going to need to be able to bounce that off. And who better than someone that's like an air sign? Air sign meaning Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And I'm also leaning into Libra because Libra's here. Okay, Libra is definitely here with the scales. Listen, I promise y'all I ain't look at these cards. Y'all see me. Inventor. Okay. And it says innovation, imagination, creative gadgets, technology, groundbreaking developments. Okay to fail. Do it again and again. Inspired ideas, trends, mastermind, and modern era. So again, We're talking about this urban, we're embarking on a renaissance, a global renaissance here. Um, we're going to be discovering new ways of doing things, important ways of doing things within technology. Well, I guess that's kind of the times that we're living in here. Okay? You may foster a love for it, like maybe growing up, you may, been into science and followed science and stuff like that, and you kind of fell off. I feel like you never really lost it. Now you is the seed was already planted. Now it's starting to sprout fruit here. And the more you put into it, so you may be studying sacred geometry, mathematics, the Merkaba, and what else? Oh, the 369 Tesla 369. So look up Tesla 369. 50-50 at this time. Things could go either way. Yeah, so because we're living in very questionable times. You just gotta kind of again have you a set of pearls to clutch, okay? Because that's where we at with things. Still, refinement, taste, culture, style, fine tune, concentrate, develops over time, okay? Purify, filter, draw out, infusion, spirits, alcohol, perfume, reduction, cultivation here. So yeah, this is if you're coming up with different inventions, I would say go for it. It could work out for you, and it could work out for you in a very beneficial way. I feel like this is the moment where Einstein learns E is equal to MC squared. I think that's the equation. Please don't quote me, but that's where we at with things. And then a need to balance. Hot air balloon here. Leo energy. Leo is ruled by the sun, by the way. All right, so we have balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rise above, don't resist, new perspective, everything that we've been talking about here. Okay, untouchable, defying gravity, continuous flow and ascension, view, elevate, feeling good. Okay, and wow, what a powerful read for Pile 2. Wow. I honestly haven't picked a pile yet. I usually pick a pile after I do it. I honestly don't remember much of anything I say after I do my readings anyway. So have to go back and view. So now we're at the charm casting section of your reading, Pile 2. Here, let's see what we got here. All right, so we have some planetary energy here, and this is allegedly the sun. This is supposed to be the sun. Okay, so we have sun energy. Put that there. We have some sun energy here. Actually, let me just take all the charms out, and we'll go through them one by one. Okay, we'll just put all those here. I have to get oh, we got more planetary energy. Ooh, child. We got sun and we got Mars. Ooh, hunty. Fire signs is deep in the house. So Mars with Aries and the sun with Leo. So a lot of you who are watching this could have a lot of fire sign in y'all charts here, or that could actually be your sun sign, moon, rising, all of those things here. All right, So we have the numbers 0, 5, and another 0. I always look at the numbers 0 as infinite possibilities, or the Fool, which is new beginnings here. And these new beginnings with that number 5. Number 5 is the number of change. It could be the number of conflict. So the journey, or the change of direction that is happening, could just be conflicting, especially with strong Mars here. Mars tend to be the planet of war, okay, or is considered the planet of war. Okay, so be careful on Tuesday, because I think Tuesday is the day of Mars. So don't you go out there getting into arguments and verbal debates. Okay? Oh my God. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but again, there's the Fool, the tarot card Fool here. Okay, so again, new beginnings, changes, and you're like, this is like a fresh beginning. Okay, so this is new to you. All right, so there could be some playful energy here. I'm not surprised that Sassy came out with y'all fire signs. Okay, with the fire signs here. Yes, you could be a little sassy. Yes, you have a mouth, a strange way of delivering it, but you got a heart. All right, you may not have all the words, right? You might have not the nicest of words. You're like grumpy. Okay, if you were a dwarf, you would be grumpy. If you were a Care Bear, you know which Care Bear you'll be. All right, you a little Oscar the Grouch, but you got a good heart here. All right, so we have the word forever, okay, and we have the word special. So some of you are very, very special here. I do think that this time, I'm hearing this time is personal, okay, with this particular change that you're going through right now, and it's going to be some play. Some of you may be in theater, okay, so some of you may sing, you may act, okay, or you know, or may feel that way. And you may have to draw on some of the skills that you. Here's what I want to say. All right, what I love about Leos could not know what the hell they're doing, and nobody else around them would know that they don't know what they're doing. All right, that's how confident they walk into things. All right, because they're natural born leaders. Okay, so we do have some craziness going on here. Again, with all the things, all the new ways of looking at things. We might find out that the earth is really flat and it's not really round, and just all these little crazy myths. And I do feel like things of the past, history, especially like with all the storms and the earth being turned up and uprooted, we're going to be seeing a lot of different discoveries. I feel like the rocks will be calling out to us, if you will. Things are going to get a little crazy. All right, so seashell, so that's emotions. That could also be downloads from spirit communication, higher level spiritual communication, if you will. All right, so that's definitely downloads are coming in. The letter N might be significant, the letter I, and the letter T. Okay? So that's your charm reading. That's all I got for your charm reading for today. Like, share, subscribe, tag a friend that could be of use, tag a Sagittarius, tag a Leo. Okay. Now we are moving on to three. All right. And we're also going to go over our next astrological event. Okay, pile 3. So the astrological event that we're going to discuss is this full moon in Capricorn happening on July 10th. Okay. With this full moon in Capricorn, chapters are going to be closing. Okay. Well, you're either going to be doing two things. Okay. You're either going to be closing chapters, or you're going to be going back to the drawing board. Saturn rules Capricorn, okay? So there's going to be a huge emphasis on long-term goals. That is career direction, life purpose, long-term commitments, if you will, okay? So it's going to be a very, very interesting time. This is a great time to, if you're working on your career, like, is, you know, this is perfect. And you know, maybe you want to do like some type of ritual, some type of road opening, or you want to directly script, or you want to make your intentions maybe a vision board. All of those things would be a great thing to do during this full moon. And again, 3 days before, 3 days after, you can harness the energy of the moon cycles. All right, these are your charms. We'll cast them after we finish our cards and clarifying them. Okay, so your first card here is alchemy. It says the step-by-step process used in alchemy is incredibly helpful for sorting everyday dilemmas. Okay? The first step is to separate. The second step is to purify. And the third step is to bring it all back together. That's the not throwing the baby out with the bath water. So don't throw the baby out with the bath water energy here. It says how could you use this process as a problem-solving tool? All right. So with the first step of separating, that's like the energy of when Jesus went off into the mountains and he hung out for the 40 days and the 40 nights. Okay, this is the illuminating, the pulling the wool from your eyes, and you actually seeing the truth. This is you sorting the real from the fake. Okay, the truth from the lies. And then after that process, there's going to be a need to purify and heal, because some people get angry. You know, once they've gone through their awakening, or they become more, I guess, spiritually advanced, some people tend to be angry. That needs to be dealt with, especially if you plan on using alchemy the correct way, because the last thing you want to do is hit into alchemy with ego. Okay, So helping to chuck your ego at the door, doing the spiritual baths, eating correctly, resting correctly, meditating, just really having a strong spiritual hygiene at this time after, you become enlightened is important. And now you just got to bring it all back together now, because all of what you know is still useful. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't know why I can't get that line together. I don't know why. It just don't roll off the tongue like I wanted to. But so alchemy. So some of you may be maybe getting into some ritual work for this full moon in Capricorn, which is all good. Again, careful, because I think, is Mercury retrograding? I think Mercury should still be retrograding at that time. If not, maybe still in the shadows of it somewhat. No, I think that the Mercury should be retrograding. So we got Mercury retrograding, we got Saturn retrograding, and we also have Neptune retrograding. So it's a lot going on, It says here, your spirit guides are near. Seek their guidance at this time. And I do think that that's a very, very good idea to help you navigate at this time of a lot of a whole lot of trivia. Okay, and I like trivia, but trivia sometimes don't come with enough detail. But I like trivia because it sparks you to go and learn more and dig a little deeper, which I think you need to be doing at this time. We have the energy of Venus here. Okay? I think one of the piles did pull Venus. It may have been pile 1 as their charm. And Venus, again, it's about love. We have zodiac signs Taurus and zodiac sign Libra. So I do believe that's the second house energy that we could be working with, and 7th house energy as well. Child divine here. Innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. And that's the light attributes. This is a balanced read, so I'm going to also go with the shadow attribute too. And an ability to defend oneself against negative forces here. Some of you may have very innocent, childlike hearts, spirits. Some of you may just kind of just had a good life. You're comfortable. I think it's funny that Aphrodite came out, and I've been using the phrase clutch your pearls. So if you've made it to if you've made it to this particular part of the reading, in the comments, comment clutching my pearls. Okay? One time for Aphrodite. Okay? So some inner child work could also be important at this time. So maybe nurturing your inner child. Some of you could also be with child, or there may be maybe some kind of spirit baby waiting to come into this life with you. We have the word humor. It says, I choose to focus on the brighter side of life. And that could also be like that child, that divine. When I think of Divine Nino or Elegua, just a very childlike but wise spirit and humor, okay? Just funny, kind of like the trickster, but that makes life easier, okay? And the universe definitely has humor, okay? Because they play all day, all right? All day long. So if you're going to be, a part of the alchemy community, you know, even if you've watched Doctor Strange isn't too far from like real occult practices. It's a little Hollywood, but it's not too far off. They have a lot of the truth inside of those movies with Doctor Strange, but it could be, you know, they got a little funniness to it, because sometimes you can ask for what you want, but you don't get to tell the universe how to deliver it. And a lot of times when the universe is delivering you something, they do it in a very funny way. They'll throw a little something in there to let you know. Okay? Financial constraints. Ain't nothing funny about financial constraints. I know, ain't nothing funny about that. You have to find something funny about it. Especially, I get this collective. Y'all like the life of luxury a little bit. Like, y'all like to live comfortably. Only reason why I say that because the Venus card came in. So y'all like the good life. Y'all like to go out to dinner and dine and good wine and fine linen and great, beautiful, you know, y'all just like beauty all around y'all. And right now you may feel like you don't have the money to do the things that you want to do. So you could just be a little bit down spiritually, and that could honestly affect your it could compromise your spirit, your protection system here, and it also can compromise the integrity of your work. Like, let's just say if you're doing spiritual work but you're angry all the time, or you just sad, you're scared, you don't feel secure, you're stressed, you're depressed, you feel, you know, you're supposed to, when you're an alchemist, it's about the now. So it's about the I am, not I'm going to be. Okay? If that makes sense. Okay, we have the garden quartz here. There are worlds within you. I think I said something about that, about the universe already, and everything that's out is already inside of you. As far as astrology goes, and the cosmos and the planets, as above, so below. Okay? The garden quartz is also a very high vibrating stone as well. It's great to manifest with. It also is helps with strengthening some of your spiritual gifts that, when it comes to alchemy, are going to be very, very important. So maybe having a wand, like, say if you, let's just say you're an alchemist, and you're the alchemist, you like wands, okay? You really, really, really like wands. maybe you can construct a wand that the tip of it is a garden quartz, okay? And you can use that to help um, within your spell work. All right. Now let's get some oracle cards to kind of clarify what's here already. I just feel like your work will speak for itself also. Okay, so we have a few cards here. I love that telephone came through when we were talking about crystals. That's interesting here. All right, so we have Cancer energy here. Heart and home. So it says happy home, security, love, kindness, family, belonging, okay? Bliss, contentment, comfort, established, okay? Fulfilled, legacy, boundaries, affection, peace, heart's desire, and longevity here. I'm getting Empress energy here. I'm getting Empress here. I'm definitely getting an image of like a one of the Madonnas, the Black Madonna, African Saint Barbara. So burning a African Saint Barbara candle might be beneficial for you as well, or maybe just kind of doing some research on some of the Madonnas, the Black Madonnas I'm getting here. Yachts, adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind. Okay, so that's just going. Self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, extravagant. All these energies, that sounds so much like Venus energy. We definitely could have Taurus and Libras in this pile watching at this time here, or it could definitely resonate at this time. And we have telephone. We have connection, communication, conversation, getting through, two-way street, message, vocal, loud and clear, reaching out, notification, throat chakra. Okay, another Cancer card here. Inner voice, rings a bell here. I feel like some of y'all may be what you're probably moving towards. Like maybe you're working on maybe buying a house or moving, or maybe getting to a bigger house, or maybe some type of vehicle. Maybe you're thinking of upgrading your vehicle around you at this time. You could be receiving a phone call this week, or some type of communication about maybe you may have applied for financing, or birdcage, possessive. Taurus, you're here. Possessive, codependent, cling, restless, oblivious, controlled, anyway. Want freedom without consent. Domination. Watched, hostage, confined, jealous, trapped, and predator. Ooh, child. Alright, so I guess be careful that you don't find yourself in somewhat of an upside down an upside down loan, just because you come off as someone that kind of likes the look of things here. So you may not have the life that you want to live right now, but I wouldn't rush into it because you could create some financial restrictions. I think doing the alchemy, checking your ego at the door, and working on things that are priceless at this time that you can't go and buy. Being grateful at this time as well. Convertible. Many options, free will, adjacent possibilities, choices, flexible, adaptable, potential, change, freedom, enjoyment, two-faced, going with the wind, alternatives, preferences. Okay. It's some of you, like you prefer to live a certain kind of life. And I do think that you have the ability, with the throat chakra showing, you have the ability to either speak that into existence or to destroy it as well. I don't want to see you get into anything, anything that's going to, so any living above your means. I don't want you to be a slave to that, a slave to things. Alchemy is a great way to manifest your dreams, but it also, for some people, they get into, oh, I'm going to use this to just get my money or manifest my money. That's a part of it, but it's not all that it is, because you can get all of those things, and because you didn't build the proper foundation, or you don't have the knowing all of to do the right things by the things that you ask for. So be careful of the things that you ask for, and also don't think that that's the only option that you have. I do think that, let's just say you're working on something and you really, really want it, and so you do what you put the application in, or you give everything that you're supposed to, all the recommendations, or the required documents. Boom. The first deal that comes to you, if it's too much, it's too much. It may be what you asked for, but it might be a little bit too much, and it may be too much for you to take on. So be careful of the debt that you take on at this time. Again, with this full moon in Capricorn, we're going to go back to that. You're either going to be closing chapters or going back to the drawing board. So don't be afraid to leave a deal on the table for now and go back to the drawing board, or wait for the conversations, the telephone, the communications to come in. Start making other connections. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Okay? And I think I'm going to stop there. All right, so we doing some major things. We manifesting over here. We're manifesting a beautiful life, and filled with all the things. Okay, filled with all of the things. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull your charms. All right, so let's charm cast here and see what charms we have. We have the cane, and the cane is all about support. Okay, so ask, ask, ask. So it could be some support coming in for you at this time. Okay. All right. Ooh, we need some evil eye with your beautiful selves here. All right. So some protection, alchemy at this time. You may be wanting to do first and foremost. Make sure your protection is up. So some protection alchemy. Again, probably to protect your heart as well here. So it says here, made with love. So whatever you do it with love. Okay? Put your heart in it. Put your love into it here. We have the Temperance card here. For the tarot, major arcana here. So with that being here, it's also calling for some balance. Pile 3, you may want to go check out Pile 1. We talk a lot about balance. We talk some about balance. All right, so we have Gemini here, communication. Okay, what does that say? Hold on. Hold on. Yes. We have the elephant here, and elephants are a sign of prosperity and abundance and financial blessings. They also could be a sign from Ganesha, road opening. So you could maybe, if you're into that kind of thing, maybe do some mantras, some obstacle removing mantras, some of the Ganesh mantras here. So kind of like if you're finding yourself stuck, because the financial constraint card did show up, so you could be finding yourself stuck. Also, what didn't the divine child come up? And I always look at that as somewhat of like a legua, the road opener. So your roads could be some obstacles in the way. So you may need to do some work to kind of clear away those obstacles. You have the numbers 1, 9, 6, and 3. So 1963 could be important to you. March of 96 could be important to you. Some of you may be born in 1996. Okay? So the number 13, your birthday could be on the 13th of the month. So, or maybe look out for 13 here. Maybe look out for July 9th. And something going on the 6th as well. And you have the letters E, R, N. Okay, so someone with those initials could be reaching out to you, or those could be the initials for yourself here. Want, star. So this is definitely energy of the star major arcana card. So again, you could be praying and wishing, and maybe you've been at this spiritual work for a while. You may start to see some movement if you were to do some road opening work. Okay, so again, road opening work. All right, it's going to be very beneficial to you and very important. So we have the word forever, and we have the word special. Okay. We have the word flower. Okay. And we have through. Okay. So it could be once special or something special here. All right. So you could just be working on something special at this time. Being in the want could also be causing spiritual blocks. So you're going to want to kind of change that. But I do think that your alchemy work needs to be supported by something of protection. Okay. So that's really where I'm going to leave off right now. I may revisit this sometime later on in the week to talk about maybe ways to spiritually protect yourself. I do have a spiritual cleansing video that's also uploaded that you may be able to benefit something from. I didn't really go too deeply, but that kind of was a theme already that came through for this collective. But I will revisit the road opening work that may be beneficial to you. All right. I think that that's the first thing that you need to do for this full moon in Capricorn. All right. So that concludes the pick a pile reading for this week. It was very, very powerful. I hope you guys got something out of it, that you're able to walk away and just let me know how this resonates with you down the line. This is a timeless read, so when you get it, you get it, even though the planetary events that are happening may not be happening at the time that you get this reading. I do feel like that the messages will still be beneficial and that you'll be able to get something from not just the pile that you choose, but all three of them. But again, always go with the pile that you resonate with the most. All right. Love and light. Have a great rest of your week.